Oh man, the drama continues. BTC sitting at about 17,000 right now. Very important level. If we break this level, things could get ugly. And there's the possibility of Binance canceling on FTX. Let's talk about this. I just want to give a very clear upfront warning that the FTX near bankruptcy affects the international version of FTX. The US version is supposedly okay. Personally, I don't buy it. If I having any money, if I had any money in FTX, I don't want to contribute to a bank run here, but let's just say I wouldn't keep any money in it, okay? I'd be like, no, let me take my money out. When I got it all figured out, maybe I'll come back, okay? Now, look, I know on the channel we've talked about FTX before in the past. I'm giving you a fair heads up now, just like I did yesterday, okay? So what's going on? So yesterday, CZ, who's not exactly, got the best reputation for transparency, according to that video we made yesterday. Just watch the last 13 minutes. You'll see a complete breakdown of why people believe that CZ doesn't have the best potential reputation for transparency. Yesterday, Binance and founder CZ suggested they have written a letter of intent to acquire FTX. Now we're hearing that FTX actually, before going to their competitor Binance, actually first went to OKX, and Sam Bankman-Fried reached out to them on Monday, hoping to get a deal before having to go to Binance. Well, OKX declined, and now FTX wrote a letter of intent to take over. A letter of intent lets you open up the books at FTX and go, oh, okay, let's see what's going on here. In yesterday's video on this topic, I mentioned that here's what happens. If Binance opens up the books and says, okay, you guys need to provide $500 million in withdrawals, you only have $300 million, Binance has to look at that and say, okay, we'll give you that $200 million, but we want your book of business, right? We want all your clients. But then you have to evaluate, is that $200 million worth the clients you're getting? And if all the clients are fleeing, then the number of clients you might be getting is actually shrinking, so the deal becomes less interesting. And if you open up the books and the numbers are actually way worse, then you potentially have to pay billions of dollars, because we think outflows are somewhere between $3 to $5 billion at this point from Binance. And if Binance, or if from FTX, and if FTX maybe only had 500 million in the books, Binance might look and go, dude, we're not giving you guys $4.5 billion to bail out your customers. Forget that. Cancel the deal. Well, now we have reports from CoinDesk that people familiar with the matter are suggesting that Binance is now strongly leaning towards scrapping the FTX bailout after first glance at the books. Look, nothing gets better after the first glance of books. This is bad. This is really bad, because that means, when the one company doing the bailouts is like, yeah, no, you're way too toxic. That's really bad. So again, personally, not trying to create fear. I would just, even though this is the FTX international branch, I would get my money out of FTX US. I understand that could potentially lead to a run. If everybody did that, it would lead to a run on the US and a collapse of the US business as well. But this is business. You have to look out for yourself. And I think that would be prudent. But anyway, cryptocurrency exchange Binance is highly unlikely to go through with its proposed acquisition of struggling rival FTX. After less than a day of reviewing the company, a person familiar with the matter said, Binance's non-binding letter of intent for the takeover announced Tuesday appeared as FTX's financial position appeared to be spiraling out of control, hinged on Binance performing due diligence. Roughly half a day into that process, after reviewing FTX's internal data and loan commitments, has led Binance to strongly lean against completing the transaction. Binance declined to comment on the status, so did FTX. After CoinDesk released the story, losses in the crypto market worsened. BTC visited its 2022 low of around 17,100, which we saw yesterday. Ether back to 1160. Wow, really? Did we get that low? Hold on a sec. Let me see here. Because I know BTC is sitting at 17.2 right now. Let's look at ETH USD. Weren't they like 1,600 just like a day ago? Yes, they literally were. They were at 1,600. Now they're under 1,200. This is remarkable. That's pretty painful. All right. So definitely get some pain here. Now, CZ did release a letter this morning, and what I thought was really interesting is yesterday in my Binance video, especially sort of my CZ expose, dare I say, in that video, I talked about how Binance was talking about this Seifu fund, which is their insurance bailout fund, in the event there's any kind of issue with their customers being able to withdraw funds. That bailout fund was previously estimated to have $1 billion of assets in it, but those are all a lot of those are BNB, which is now worth a lot less. And so yesterday we were estimating that there was maybe only about $460 million actually in that account, not anywhere close to $1 billion, since we could see the wallets. And so just a few hours ago, actually 10 hours ago, which is about maybe 8 hours after I posted my video, Binance's CZ has come out and posted the following. To adjust for recent price fluctuations, Binance has topped up the Seifu insurance fund to $1 billion again. Now, that's interesting because this insurance account has been underfunded, under $1 billion, for like 10 months of the year. And within 10 hours of me bitching about it in a video, they filled it up again. Now, I'm not trying to take credit for that. I'm sure many people were complaining about this. I just think it's interesting that it's like, really, you kind of let it suffer that long all year, and all of a sudden now you top it off. Okay. But again, it's being topped off with Bitcoin and BNB. And if the value of these collapses, then again, the value of the insurance goes down. Here we've got his letter to basically the Binance staff. He just posted this to everyone. Given the events that have transpired over the last couple of days, I want to reiterate a few points. We did not master plan this or anything related to this. This is because there are rumors that basically Binance purposely tried to bankrupt FTX to get rid of their competition. You've got CZ here saying, I had very little knowledge about the internal state of what was going on at FTX until SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, called him. Sam Bankman-Fried, by the way, has not had a good day last couple days. Wall Street Journal has a piece out indicating that his net worth collapsed from $16 billion to potentially under $1 billion within a day. Now marking a 94% wipeout, the biggest one-day collapse ever amongst billionaires, tracked by Bloomberg. Bloomberg Index gave a value of just $1 to FTX and Alameda Research. And the only reason Sam Bankman-Fried might actually have still relatively a close to maybe $1 billion net worth is because of his investment into Robinhood. Sam Bankman-Fried invested into Robinhood when it was like $7 or $8. I think the thing's trading for like $12 now or something. And he invested a good chunk of change. Actually, wow, dude, even Robinhood just fell. Look at this. Robinhood's down 9.9% today. Never mind. There goes the rest of his net worth. Well, at least it's preserved some of it. I think he bought it like $750 or something like that, but it's at $877 now. Wow. Sam Bankman-Fried Robinhood investment. Let me see. This was somewhere in April. He even suggested potentially buying the company. He has a 7.6% stake in Robinhood. 56 million shares May 12. 56 million. And if we multiply 56 million shares by 878, he has about, that is not even close to what the Wall Street Journal is estimating anymore. If his other businesses are bankrupt, he's only worth about 491 million right now. And that's all thanks to Robinhood. Who would have thought that Sam Bankman-Fried could thank Vlad Tenev to help him continue to stay rich? Who would have thought? Anyway, wild. Let's go back to that letter, though, and continue to see what CZ is arguing here, which is right here. All right. So as the due diligence for the deal is ongoing, I want to remind everyone, do not trade the FTX tokens. If you have a bag, you have a bag. Do not buy or sell. As soon as I finished the call with Sam Bankman-Fried yesterday, I asked our team to stop selling as an organization. So keep this in mind. over the weekend, CZ said we're going to dump like 500 million coins of the FTX token. That was before this collapse. And now with his call, after his call with Sam Bankman-Fried, where who knows, maybe Sam Bankman-Fried is basically begging CZ not to sell finance tokens or the FTX tokens. Now, CZ is recommending that if you're losing money on the FTX token, don't worry, just wait. I mean, that sounds like a bunch of BS to me, but whatever. Yeah, exactly. Only 490 mil. What a peasant. Exactly. How safe are funds with Binance? You know, I don't trust Binance. I said this yesterday as well. And the problem is, if Binance doesn't buy FTX, you're going to have massive liquidations in not only is the FTX token going to go to zero, but you're going to see pressure on the Binance token. You're going to see pressure on Bitcoin and Ethereum more than you've already seen. If we break this 17,000 level on BTC, you could see BTC fall lower. In fact, in my video yesterday, I put in a little quote of me saying the only thing holding BTC up at around $19,000 then is FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, and the bailouts. Like and I even said if he runs out of money, TBD. That's what I said. If he runs out of money, TBD. In other words, like it's probably going to get bad. And that's literally what's happening right now, which is kind of scary. So the problem is Binance says they're good, but I don't trust them. If BTC drops under $10,000, I would not be surprised. It's entirely possible you see CZ take a few bill, disappear, Binance collapses. Not saying it's going to happen. I'm not making any guarantees, but let me put it this way. Would I move my money from FTX to Binance? Hell no. If I had money in crypto, it would either be cold wallet, like not your keys, not your coin, right? Not your crypto. I'd have my money out of any kind of centralized exchange, or I just wouldn't be in crypto while these collapses are happening around, because it's going to put downward valuation pressure on the coins. I'm sure many of you remember this, but I've regularly been asked about, hey, what about the potential for NFTs to maintain value, right? And people were always wondering, like, Kevin, when are you going to get into holding NFTs more long term? I'm like, I'm not, because here's what happens when you get it. And this, I've always said this, even in the bull run when NFTs were killing it, right? I'm like, the problem is if you go into a recession, the last thing that has liquidity is going to be an NFT. And it's going to be the first thing that gets dumped. The same is going to be true for a lot of other assets. You have to look at when companies have to liquidate, they have to dump assets. And when liquidity goes down, price plummets even faster. It's really scary. So, and I'm not trying to like fearmonger here, but like, I just want to be clear. I would not, and I said this yesterday too, I wouldn't have any money in FTX, the US or international version, and I wouldn't have any money in Binance. I also, right before Voyager Digital went bankrupt, I made it very clear on the channel, get your money out of stablecoins. They're not safe right now. And then all of a sudden we get the Terra Luna collapse and everything. It's crazy. And I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back for like, predicting or whatever. I'm trying to provide warnings. That's all I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to be even more clear because like when I said sell Peloton at 113, I'm dumping it because things are changing. People then later made slanderous videos about me going, haha, look, Kevin's investment Peloton went to $20 or $10. And it's like, I guess you missed all the warnings. So I just want to be even more clear. But then again, people are always going to hate, but they just hate us. So, okay, what else do we know? Let's go back to that letter. So I think this is nonsense. This is just CZ. This is CZ trying to tell his friend that, hey, I'm helping you try to make sure there's liquidity for the finance token by encouraging people not to sell. Okay, U.S. finance regulators are now investigating whether FTX properly handled customer funds. Yeah, this is going to lead to a lot of investigations. U.S. probes FTX over handling of client funds. Well, yeah, no kidding. So let me see here. Okay, yeah. So continuing on with the letter. 3, obviously do not comment on the deal publicly or internally. You know, it's kind of funny that like hours after this letter comes out of CZ saying, oh, please don't comment on the deal, somebody comments on the deal to CoinDesk and the story leaks right away. Duh. FTX FTX going down is not good for the entire industry. We don't view it as a win for us. User confidence is severely shaken. Regulators will scrutinize exchanges even more. Licenses will be harder to get. Yeah, you're going to end up having a Federal Reserve that has to supervise all this stuff because nobody's going to trust it. Not to mention price swings and insurances, blah, blah, blah. Speaking of prices, ignore the prices. Let's keep our heads down and focus on building products people use. Dude, nobody uses Bitcoin, just as an example, right? You don't transact with it, at least not yet. Maybe in the future, you go to Lightning and stuff, but like blockchain technology is so good, but there's still a fundamental disconnect between how much blockchain technology is actually worth and how much tokens are trading for, which obviously have voting ownership in the blockchains. But I don't know. Really proud of every one of you, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. I don't know, man. I'm glad you guys, CZ and Binance, I'm glad they topped off their insurance fund, because that was a joke. Yesterday, he was pitching how great Seifu is. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? It's worth a whole lot less than what it used to be. They're obviously using this as a marketing pitch. Here he is saying he likes being bald, basically, because it's kind of like a zero and they have zero fees for BTC. It's an ad. Would I put money into this right now? Hell no. Like, let the cards fall where they may. And then if you want to go invest back into crypto, you can do that. What will happen to Voyager? They were being bought by FTX. I thought Voyager was going through bankruptcy. I didn't know that FTX was a potential suitor. That's possible, though, because through bankruptcy, you could see that occur. Customers of bankrupt crypto lender Voyager. Oh, yeah, Voyager to October. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, FTX was considered one of the potential purchasers for Voyager. Customers of bankrupt crypto lender Voyager could recover 72% of their funds if FTX sale is approved. Too bad, now FTX is going bankrupt. So there goes that. There goes the potential of getting 72% of your money back on Voyager. Oops. Nope. Bankruptcy court approved an arrangement where Voyager can scrap the FTX deal if a better offer materializes. Yeah, right. FTX's offer just went away. Yeah, I am hearing a lot of Solana drama. I actually don't know much about this, but I'm happy to do some research into Solana and see what's going on. Let's take a look at CoinDesk over here. Solana continues its plunge. Okay, Monday war on Solana sunk deeper and deeper. Okay, why? Investors speculated about its possible place in the ongoing drama around FTX. Okay. A copy of the Alameda balance sheet seen by CoinDesk shows that Alameda holds 292 million of unlocked Solana and 863 million of locked Solana and 41 million of Solana collateral. One theory is Alameda might try to dump its SOL tokens in a bid to raise liquidity. Of course. If they're going to go bankrupt, and this is true, that Alameda holds all the Solana, it's all going to get dumped. That's what I said. Is when you have these liquidity problems, you're going to see a dumping of whatever assets you could possibly get your hands onto. This now, oh my gosh, this was $21 yesterday. It's at $16 now. Year to date, Solana down from $170 to now $16. Look at its move here. It was $37 November 5th, 4 days ago. It's down more than 60% in 4 days. Yeah, the Tom Brady partnership with FTX. You know, one thing I will say, and we'll end it on this, but this was remarkable. And no, it's not. Yes, we have the Black Friday coupon code down below. Email kevin@meetkevin.com if you have questions about bundles or the courses, although it's pretty self-explanatory in the link down below. Here's the big crazy thing, okay? I remember asking sponsor companies, I'm like, how the hell does FTX have all this money? They're being stupid with how they're spending their advertising money. And this is because I was seeing what was going on in the YouTube community. And they said, well, their boss told them, you have the money, spend it. And I'm like, that's not how to run a company. So the red flags were there. I wish I made a video about that. Oh well. Anyway, see ya. Good luck.